The Shining is a fucking masterpiece. Genuinely one of my favorite films ever made. And one of the main things that I remember from my first watch through was how long it stuck with me afterwards. You see, there are horror films you watch once, get scared by, and then move on from. And then there's The Shining, a film people argue about, rewatch, analyze, defend, and sometimes don't even enjoy, especially if you're Stephen King. But somehow, after you watch it for the first time, you can't stop thinking about it. And that's exactly why it's so good. The Shining isn't a film that wants to scare you in the obvious ways. It wants to unsettle you, disorient you, make you feel like something is wrong even when nothing's happening. What The Shining does better than almost any other horror film is atmosphere. Long corridors, empty rooms, that low constant hum of unease. The hotel feels alive and never feels safe. There's too much space, too much silence, too much time to think. And instead of filling that space with jump scares or explanations, the film just lets it sit there. That restraint is what makes everything feel heavy. You're not being told when to be scared. You're being asked to notice when things start to feel off. This feeds into Jack Torrance as well. Jack doesn't suddenly become a monster. He erodes. He starts isolated, frustrated, already uncomfortable in his own skin. The hotel doesn't possess him so much as it gives him permission to spiral. It removes structure, responsibility, and consequences. That slow decay is far more unsettling than any kind of dramatic transformation. You're not watching a villain emerge, you're watching someone lose themselves, piece by piece. And then by the time we reach the hedge maze, it feels like the perfect physical representation of the film. Endless paths, no clear direction, repetition everywhere. Danny survives because he understands. He stops, adapts, and thinks. Jack doesn't. He keeps charging forward, convinced that force will get him out. The maze isn't a trap designed to kill Jack. It's a place where his flaws finally have nowhere left to hide. And then the film does something most horror movies are too afraid to do. It ends quietly. No big final scare, no victory, no explanation. We simply cut to the morning. Jack is frozen in the maze alone. It's not any kind of punishment or twist, it's an inevitability. The film doesn't care about giving him closure, it just leaves him there, exactly where he belongs, alone. The final photograph is the last unsettling reminder of what this film really is. Jack isn't special. He isn't chosen. He's simply absorbed. Whether he's always been there or simply erased, it really doesn't matter. The point is that individuality collapses. Time folds in on itself. Meaning becomes unstable. The film doesn't want you to solve this image. It wants you to feel uneasy about it. What makes The Shining so incredible is that it doesn't chase fear. It builds an entire experience. It trusts silence, it trusts discomfort, it trusts the audience to sit in ambiguity. That's why it's still talked about decades later. Not because it explains itself, but because it refuses to. The Shining doesn't want to be solved. It wants to be remembered. And that's why it still works. Because as a film, it understands how powerful it is to leave questions unanswered. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to subscribe. Hit me up on Instagram and all the socials. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.